I'm a very much a people person. I go just to parks and I'll like watch people like I'm in the zoo. I enjoy people and looking at them, and man, I just got to know people at a way different level, right? I was raised in this small town in Idaho where that's the way I thought the world was, and to go outside of that and to learn, that some people are different than other people, and to realize, hey, there isn't one mold for everyone. That was really cool. Learning also how to work with people, that was amazing. You go in and it's really hard to have a Mexican American companionship because you have completely different value systems. You'll have fights over silly little things like, you made a joke about their mother or something. You don't make fun of mothers in Mexico. That is a bad thing. Like, just funny, we make mom jokes all the time, but like that is a tender subject, talking about their mother. So you'll have silly little fights, and you really learn how to like see it from their perspective and to just be patient. And I mean, that's a hard thing. That was definitely something I learned, was first of all how to get along with your companion and how to make a successful relationship, a relationship for success, which is great down the road in anything that you're doing. You have to, teamworking skills are always there. And then second, as far as people go, just learning to talk with people and know what makes them comfortable and know what works well with people and what doesn't. Contention never makes someone feel good, or someone's never going to like you after contention. So that makes no sense. I mean, little things like that are almost second nature now. I feel like I hate to say this, like whittle my way around the rules sometimes, or get into certain programs. Like getting into BYU was really hard for me, and I feel like I did it because I went in and talked to the guy that was, that does the applications. I was a transfer student from a different school, and I went to talk to the transfer guy, and I kind of explained my situation, and having that boldness to be able to just go and talk to people, that's priceless. That was really cool. Another thing I took away from it was having. I'll get to the spirit part at the end, but another thing I took away was just having that time management, having the ability to plan my day every single day. And you don't realize how many hours you have in the day until you're planning out every single minute of it, and you don't realize how much you can really get done. That was just amazing to me. And now I come and that was the first thing I felt so guilty being home and wasting hours upon hours of doing nothing. I just felt horrible because I had every hour planned at the minute, and it's just like this guilt that I'd feel when I came home. But that's something I love, is being able to know what my limits are, too, is knowing that, man, I have done some crazy things. I've worked so hard until my feet want to fall off, and woken up and done it even harder the next day, Knowing that you've done something so hard, you know that you can succeed in anything. I think that's why return missionaries are so successful. So those are some of more just like useful things directly. And then another thing is really just listening to the Spirit. That was probably the biggest thing I'll take away from it. If there's one convert you really want to get out of the mission, and that's yourself. You want to be converted, and sometimes you'll get into the point where you stop thinking about yourself, you stop doing your personal scriptures, and you're focusing so much on your people you're teaching and stuff, and your converts and all that. But really focusing on your conversion and knowing that it's going to be a lasting one. One of the biggest things that I learned was following the Spirit. I remember that was one of my biggest concerns, and some of the things I was so worried about was how's I going to be able to tell the difference between the Spirit and indigestion, I wasn't sure, and that, you hear how they're so led by the Spirit, the missionaries are, and you just think, man, I'll never be able to do that. But you learn to have that ability, and you learn to tell what's your thoughts and what's the Lord's, and that is just so useful, especially in life. And knowing if I should have married my wife or not, that was super useful, to already know how to receive that revelation. That is, what else is better other than having the Lord's direct communication line on there, and being able to tell when it's Him and when it's not Him telling you something. So that was probably one of the most beneficial things that I got out of my mission. And I remember people always would say, there's not a day goes by I don't think about my mission, or I don't work on something that I learned from mission. It's true. That part is so true. You just take all of it, and it's one of the most enlightening experiences of your life. And the hardest part about your mission is going home. It's so hard because you just learn to love it so much. So it's a great experience, and anyone that's contemplating whether or not to go, or has those doubts on whether that they think they shouldn't go, it'll be the best thing for your life, I promise.